What is up, guys, gals, and all you awesome minions of different shapes and sizes? It is me, Josh, aka Noir Proxy, bringing you some Alienation on the PlayStation 4 today. Now, this game just came out, and I've been waiting so long for it to actually release, because one of the funny things is that when you pre-order a game on PlayStation 4, like digitally off the store, the game sits on your XMB counting down, which is so frustrating because all you want to do is play the game and you just want that timer to just turn to 0 immediately. And especially in the case of Alienation, because I love House Marquee Games. They're the developer behind Resogun and Dead Nation, and as you know, they were really good games. We even did a series on Dead Nation called Subscriber Share Play Challenge, where basically you got to play my game on the PlayStation 4 via streaming services called Share Play, and it was so good, so fun. Maybe we can do that with Alienation too, we'll have to wait and see. But this game is so different to Dead Nation, which surprised me, because based on the title and based on how the gameplay looks, you'd think, oh, this game kind of looks like it's just Dead Nation but with aliens. But it's actually a little bit different. It is kind of like Dead Nation with aliens, where it's a top-down shooter and you're shooting aliens, but they've ended up expanding the gameplay a little bit. And look at those effects. Look at the smoke effects are fantastic, the particle effects. House Marquee are really good at presenting what the PlayStation 4 can achieve, even through little games like this, and that is so awesome, because it just shows the capabilities of the console, the next generation of gaming at the moment. But when it comes to this actual game, what they've ended up doing is they've ended up making a RPG roguelike of a top-down shooter with aliens in it, which is really awesome because I did not expect that the game would have this. So what you've got is you've got your different difficulties, you've got your different kind of like hero characters that you can play here. You've got a medic, you've got a like an assassin, and you've got this like heavy gunner dude who looks like some kind of inspired Tom Cruise character from Edge of was it called Edge of Tomorrow? I think it was called Edge of Tomorrow, right? And what you end up doing is you have the choice of different difficulties. So you have your like easy, normal, and hard, which then increases the chances of being able to unlock different loot, because this game is all loot based. It's kind of got that Diablo feel to it, where you're constantly killing enemies in the hope that they drop better weapons, better gadgets, and better like chances of abilities and such. But at the same time, when you start the game, you can choose to either have like a hardcore mode like in Diablo, where when you die you lose your character for good. So all that time that you put into that character, all that kind of like immense love that you've invested into your hero can just go in an instant, because they can just, when they die, they're gone. And that's one of those choices that you can make in this game. There is this thing where they're like respawn kind of like, what would you class them as, like hubs like around the maps, but if you pick that difficulty kind of setting, then they don't really mean anything. And what you may notice here is we're actually playing on that selection on veteran difficulty, which is the hardest difficulty, and we're doing it with co-op. And I have to admit, and we've found this a lot lately with a lot of multiplayer kind of centric games, is that co-op is starting to feel a lot better than solo. And it's something that really kind of like baffles me, because I love solo games, especially when it comes to top-down shooters. But as you can see, the gameplay gets so much more frenetic, so much more fun when you're doing it with somebody else. So this game is actually 4 players, which is awesome, because I can just picture it being like so fun. But this guy just randomly joined my game, and this is something that was kind of interesting too, is that you can't privatize your matches, which is kind of unusual. So people just can like join your game, which is fine, I guess. It's acceptable because the gameplay is just that fun, especially when you're playing it with somebody else. And it's that thing of that going against overwhelming odds and you being in a squad and you taking on all these aliens, and it's just so riveting. It's just this thing of that you feel so in the moment. Maybe it's the particles like going around you, the snow, the lava, these aliens rushing at you, and the bodies flying everywhere. But you just feel like in the moment. You just feel like immersed in this world, and it's such a good feeling for such a simplistic type of game. And you may notice as well that my character is actually like switching between all these different weapons, all these different abilities, and there's just so much diversity, there's just so much variation to what you can actually do in the game. Like the characters that I play at the moment have been the medic and this heavy gunner. Now the heavy gunner can do this charging ability, as you saw there, while also being able to use like twin weapons, which is kind of cool. And then he can even do a supercharged railgun attack, and he can even do a stomp and a shield. Those are things things I haven't actually unlocked yet, but I do actually do those later on, so I will show you gameplay of that. And then you just kind of like wander around and kill aliens, which you may think is simplistic. Now, when I first played the first level, I thought that. I thought, oh, where's the story? The story feels a little bit more bare bones compared to, say, Dead Nation, which was still light on the story. It was more about the gameplay. But then, like, this one just completely, like, overshadows the story just through its gameplay, because it's just so fun to kill aliens. And as you can see here, just as they're charging at you. And there are different areas as well, like this boss here called a Xenos Commander. And what the Xenos Commander can actually do is he can actually summon hordes of aliens, which just charge at you from every direction. And it ends up happening in a moment as well. And it's just so tense, so nerve-wracking, because again, it's this thing of that when you pick the character game mode where if you die, you lose that hero forever. You are like clinging on for dear life, especially when you have like no health, and it's so awesome. And so let me know in the comment section below, do you like that type of gameplay? Oh, you see what I mean there? He nearly killed me. And that was because the aliens actually drop lava. Now you got the little ones that drop lava when they die, or this dude who like actually like poops it, which is really unusual. But if you kill these dudes, they drop these purple crates, which actually give you even more loot. So it does have that kind of like loot color rarity to it, where it is like white, green, blue, and purple, I believe. There may be an orange in there too, I'm not too sure. I've only played around like an hour or two of this game, but it is so good. I highly recommend it. I would love to know your opinion on the gameplay. Is this the kind of game that you would play, or do you prefer more like third person or first person? This game would actually be really cool as a first person too. You never really see like overwhelming odd horde mode type games apart from, say, like Killing Floor or, say, Left 4 Dead, which was so long ago. You don't really see those anymore. It's always generally around like top-down shooters. Oh my goodness, this is where it happens. This is where it happens. So, as mentioned, you end up finding these kind of like elite level kind of aliens. Remember, everything is kind of like RPG-esque in this game. It's like Diablo, but they just start to surround you, and this isn't even the horde mode yet. So here they go, right? So there is actually an alien around here, which is like an uber monster, I assume, or something like that. And he's just going to send this immense horde at us. There we go, the horde is approaching. Now this is just crazy, and you're just running around. Me and my teammate end up getting split up, and we're just kind of like hanging on there. And it's one of those things where I've got full health, but it ends up like going down, and he's like getting chased around. It's kind of like Scooby-Doo in a way. So he's like going down corridors, I'm going down corridors, just getting chased all over the place, having to use all of our abilities, all of our skills. And this was only the second mission, so this is one of those things where if you're going into this, you got to be prepared. Look at the bodies flying. It's just so good. The bits, the dismemberment, it's just so good, so pretty. Who thought that violence would look just so sexy? Oh my goodness, look at that. And I've even got this like flamethrower weapon, which surprisingly enough, when I started this game, you only get the energy weapon, which is his dual like wielding weapons, but then you end up getting a revolver, which is your sidearm, and then also like a heavy weapon, such as like a rocket launcher, or I think there's gonna be like Gatling, like a bigger like dual wielding Gatling guns from what I've seen, and then obviously like a flamethrower as well, which I'm using right now, and like homing weapons. It's all, look at the explosion vehicles, just everything. It's just really fun. So you get all these different weapon types. Now the one thing that's a bit of a downside is that based on the character you pick, they seem to only get one type of gun. So like if you're playing as the heavy dude here, he gets an energy rifle and he uses like dual wield energy rifles, but when he does that, it's the same gun model when he unlocks the loot. So you're always unlocking just one type of energy rifle, and then it's just different stats, which is kind of worrying, because I kind of like the idea that you know, like when you play like say Diablo, I know I'm mentioning Diablo a lot, but like when you play like an RPG or like something like that and you're unlocking loads of loot, like say with Borderlands for example, one of the main things that you get excited about is finding those new weapons and, you know, thinking, oh my goodness, this gun looks amazing, this is something I'm going to keep, this is something I'm going to cherish and hold for the rest of my life. And Alienation doesn't really do that from what I've seen. What it does is it just gives you this one type of gun model and it just puts a different stat on the top. I hope it proves me wrong later on, because I'm loving the gameplay, but I would love to love the loot system as well. So let me in the comment section below, what do you think to that? Do you not really mind that? Do you just more prefer what we're playing right here, and that the loot is more of an afterthought and it's more about the gameplay? I would love to know your opinion, but I'm going to let you enjoy the rest of this gameplay. You've got half of it left without me annoying you. It's been me, Josh, aka Noir Proxy, showing you some Alienation today. So this is where the loot look is, and this is your skill system. Really cool, loads of stuff to do in it, and it's awesome. And what they do as well, just quickly, is that through this skill system, you get your level up skill points, but you don't like fully upgrade yourself, so you end up like leveling up, say like abilities. So like you'll end up like picking an ability and you go, right, I want the force field, but you then put your points, your ability upgrade point, into one slot of like a special kind of augment for that ability. So for example, if you get the I think it's like survivability. So survivability allows you to either use these little plants that give you special speed buffs or XP buffs or damage buffs in the environment. You can either pick that, or you can make it so that you get longer health regeneration. So it's one of those things where you don't get both, you pick one or the other. So you've got this like tactical choice of what you want to take on the missions, and you can actually switch between those on the fly as well in the pause menu, which is awesome. So I really like that thing of that you can fully customize your character in a different way at all times when it comes to their abilities and their weapons. It's that thing of like, if you feel like you need to like change into like a different playstyle like mid-game, you can do that, which is really awesome. But either way, I'll let you enjoy the gameplay. As mentioned, I'll see you all next time, and let me know in the comment section below, do you like the look of this game? We will be doing a review of it, and I would love to know your opinion of it too. But either way, I'll see you all next time. Ciao for now.
Inner critical. Flamethrower. Energy gun. Revolver. Flamethrower. Energy gun. Revolver. Energy gun. Flamethrower. Hard purple. Energy gun. Revolver. Energy gun. Inner critical. Armor low. Nice. Wait. Inner critical. Revolver. Energy gun.
Just start the power-up sequence from the main console and it should connect to our network automatically. Excellent. Ramping to full power. Connecting to infrastructure. Searching for the red star. Interesting.
Let's get you out of there, Captain. Stand by for evac.
Stardust inbound, that radar erase sure packs a punch. It's drowning my comms.